Good evening. A 5-mile-long, $150 million underground tunnel with the sole purpose of collecting excess rain and sewage to keep that nasty stuff out of your home. Fort Wayne leaders hope to build that and break ground on it in 2017. News Channel 15's Randy Spieth joins us as we continue our series, Fort Wayne Underground.
Heather, tunnels like the one Fort Wayne's getting ready to build are being dug throughout the country. Indianapolis is building one right now, and News Channel 15 is the only Fort Wayne station to see the work there so far. 1 billion gallons. That's the amount of human waste and other untreated sewage making its way into Fort Wayne's waterways every year. The federal government is making the city cut that down to 100 million gallons or less.
We currently have 43 locations in our wastewater system that have combined sewer overflow points where we discharge raw sewage into the rivers. A majority of them are actually along the Maumee and the St. Mary's River. We're working to reduce those overflows here with this tunnel project. The tunnel's primary purpose will be just during rain events or wet weather events where snow melt or rainfall, where the existing pipes can't take that flow, and then we'll drop it down into the tunnels. We're trying to keep the tunnel as close to those overflow points as possible, which are along the rivers.
That project will stretch out over 5 miles, be between 12 and 16 feet in diameter, and workers will have to drill 150 to 250 feet below ground. And to put that number in perspective, we're standing more than 275 feet below the Earth's surface right now, here inside the Hanson Rock Quarry in Fort Wayne.
The goal is to create enough of a capacity within that tunnel to capture most of the rain that happens in our system, as well as most of the sewage overflows that happen into the river, and convey that to our treatment plant instead of just dumping it into the rivers or leaving it on streets or leaving it, even more unfortunately, in people's basements.
This summer, we joined Fort Wayne engineers on a visit to a similar tunnel being built under Indianapolis.
We know that it's very beneficial to come down and see how the project works, what type of area you need.
To get to the tunnel, we stood inside a cage which was lowered by crane 240 feet below Indianapolis' streets. Mining of the first part of this tunnel is nearly complete.
The way that the project is sequenced, we want to get as much benefit from the project as early as possible. Once this piece of the entire program comes online, we will actually be able to gain benefit from this prior to constructing the other 18 miles of tunnel we have planned.
Tunnels are such unique infrastructure because they're so rare. The folks in Indianapolis have been great for us as far as sharing information with us so that we don't have to make mistakes that they've run into, and they're helping us along the way. When you're there, it's like, wow, this is a lot bigger than I thought. It has a different feel. Wow, there's water up to your ankles, and there's this huge conveyor in there. There's a lot of things that you just don't anticipate until you are actually in the hole.
Indy's tunnel will be 25 miles long. The yellow line along this map lines out the tunnel's path. Fort Wayne's tunnel will be about 5 miles, but will serve the same purpose.
We're looking in the 150 to 250 foot depth for the best limestone.
Work on Fort Wayne's tunnel will start at the wastewater treatment plant on Dwenger Avenue and travel along the rivers before ending above Foster Park. The tunnel is expected to have both environmental and economic benefits.
Most of the work is going to be done by our local firms. So it's not just good to have people in the local community working on this. It also allows a lot of knowledge transfer to happen between the private sector and the public sector.
Over the last month, contracts to design Fort Wayne's tunnel were approved. The tunnel's design itself will cost approximately $30 million. The city still plans to break ground on its tunnel sometime in 2017, and it should be completed sometime between 2023 and 2025. Randy Spieth, News Channel 15.